The next phase of human evolution is a new beginning timeline in the New West. Here's how those leaving will be transported there.
Trump time travel is the overriding theme for this series, and in Section 1, we covered the following. 1. How President Trump as a time traveler benefited the 17 team, and 2. How Nikola Tesla was provided with a blueprint for time travel technology in support of God's plan to save the world. Now, here in Section 2, it's time to talk about the most sophisticated form of time travel in existence, and that is time tunneling via angelic stargate. We call this divine time travel.
In regard to God's plan to save the world, the obvious place to start is with what the Bible has to say about the event known as the rapture.
The Bible is the Word of God. It is so awesome. There are several levels of interpretation. There is the simple level, read the book. There's the practical level for daily living. There's the prophetic level for future promises. And beyond that, the Jews say there is a secret level, the Sod level. I've been talking with Yaakov Ramsel about an absolutely incredible discovery in the last 8 verses of the first chapter of Genesis. Genesis 1, last 8 verses. Now, 8 is the number of new beginning. It is a metaphysical number. And so in these last 8 verses, he has found 17 phrases encoded at 17-letter intervals that give the story of redemption.
These messages, discovered by Yaakov Ramsel, were decoded from passages in the Masoretic text by counting letters in equidistant sequences. If you understand the impossible odds of finding such a series of interrelated messages encoded within any text, you also understand that the only explanation for the existence of these encoded phrases is the very hand of God.
Somebody outside of our space and time had to construct this word. God is painting a picture for us here.
Yes.
You know, it's so magnificent because then the next code comes out, Ha'amet, which means the truth. And then we have Hatava, which means the ark. This is the type of ark that Noah built for rescue. And the 8th one that we have here at 17-letter increments is Melet Ish. It means man is rescued.
And I like number 10, which is the next one.
Oh, yes, yes. And every 17th letter also within there is Natal. Natal is a unique word. It's a Hebrew word that can be translated directly as the rapture. It means to be rescued. It means to be suddenly jerked up or snatched up. And that's the meaning of that word.
Okay.
That's the Old Testament.
Amazing. All this is in Genesis chapter 1.
Yes, and composed together in a compact area.
At 17-letter intervals, in the order that you're giving them to.
Yes. The proper interpretation of this from the original Hebrew is, the word is natsal, and it means to be suddenly removed, suddenly jerked up, rescued and saved.
I'm going to read the 7th chapter of Genesis, verse 6. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. Now, this is the story of Noah and the ark.
You know, it's so beautiful what God has placed in there. Every ninth letter, this is awesome. Every ninth letter spells the sons, Vrabot, Pelah. Now, this in English is many, many sons, multitudes of sons.
Unnumberable.
Escape. It's an innumerable company.
Yes. Wow.
Which is amazing, because when we go to the story, J.R., we're talking about 3 sons, not an innumerable number of sons. In fact, the number of people on the ark was 8 people. Again, back to that number of new beginnings. So clearly this is referring to something else.
The Word of God ties together so uniquely from old to new, from chapter to chapter, from book to book. And so we have the same concept here in Isaiah 26, where every 6th letter spells Natsal. It means to be jerked up, raptured. It's exactly what it means.
Wow.
Not once, but every 7th letter also spells the same word. I think God is trying to tell us something.
Humanity's escape from this completely captured and hostile realm is being made possible by twin stars, called in by King Yeshua from the heavenly realm. These twin stars are actually a special pair of angels that can become a stargate by zeroing out the charge in their individual fields and then arcing together to form a circuit. This is the definition of the 369 physics. 88, or twin eights, is code for time travel because when you stack the eights on their sides, they represent the infinite torsion field energy of 2 singularities, which is exactly what twin stars are, 2 singularities.
Now you can understand what it means when we say that an angelic stargate will be the method of transport for the humans and pets who will be leaving Earth during the rapture event. Here's a high-level list of the series of steps that will be happening during this rescue of the human race. When the last Trump and Sky event are triggered, human avatars will disappear and become superconductive in the twinkling of an eye.
Concurrently, those leaving will be loaded by the hand of God into hundreds of thousands of fleets docked inside the Stargate.
Stargates use time tunneling to travel through time and space, and the journey to the new beginning timeline will take 3 days.
This segment of the human race is not being taken to heaven. They're being rescued from a realm predestinated for destruction and tunneled thousands of years into the past to a domed, uninhabited, and undeveloped Earth-like realm.
From aboard the fleets with all who exited, Trump will begin his second 4-year term as the rightfully elected president. This innumerable company will temporarily exist in a holographic setting designed to provide an environment where all citizens feel connected.
Starting on day 1, citizens will enter a 4-year training program designed to write the laws of their new constitutional republic on their hearts and indelibly instill the values of preserving, protecting, and passing on the liberty that was very nearly lost. This training will be completed before the people leave the ships to start building out their new timeline. This list is God's plan to save the world.
We do understand that while this list is designed to answer questions, it also creates an even longer list of additional questions. And that's what Section 2 is about, answering those questions.